What is going on, everybody? Corey here. I would like to welcome you, the listener, back to another Fly Casual. Hey, guess what? It's reviews and discussion night, so we're going to be talking about comics highlights for things that have been coming out. Also, guess what? Garrick's got another rest of the saga in store for all of our listening pleasure. Before we're going to get deep diving into our favorite Star Wars gaming moments, you're going to want to stick around for another Fly Casual.
Let's get ready to wrinkle!
I'm getting old because it's when we do the intro and I get like, get ready to fly casual. Like right then, like I get like, sometimes my throat will do like this, like thing when I'm on, and then I have to suppress my cough while the intro music plays. I think people might still overestimate, what we're willing to do in post, given how much work Howie already has to do. We record this.
The NIMS.
Yeah,
you got the NIMS, bro.
I might have the Panems. We're we do all the music and all that stuff live. We use a soundboard. It's all usually I do the intro and we all just sit here
giving away all the secrets, aren't you?
We sit here and we all just twiddle our thumbs while the music plays. It's all live. I'm actually
you ruined the magic.
When I'm at the Fly Casual, you got to understand. I'm like leaning left to the microphone and then both of my arms reaching out to the right so I can transition on the soundboard awkwardly. So, it's all very, very analog / digital.
Sometimes he goes long. He's like Fly Casual.
Because the button is not registering on this billion-year-old iPad. Yeah. I'm like, Fly Casual, tap, 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 tap. But I can't tap. If I tap after it activates, it stops the music. So I have to like furiously tap and stare out the right side of my eye.
Then we have to decide, are we going to start over or keep going?
The answer is almost always no. Keep going.
Yeah.
It's let's not get it in post because you know what? It's casual. Got to lay it out there with all of its cracks and the seams.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's how you know it's authentic.
That's right. That's how you know it's your yearbook because you go back and look and see where your friend goes, haha, I signed your crack. You guys remember? You guys remember when that was the epitome of wit?
Dude, that's hilarious because it also they were implying they signed your butt crack.
I know, and it still works.
It's a joke,
even in the digital age.
Nobody would really. Well, most people wouldn't really sign a butt crack.
No, not in most cases.
But no,
I mean some people have weird tramp stamps.
Yeah, that's true.
That's close, but I mean it's usually not just like a Sharpie or something.
Howie has one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a butterfly with some
three
tribal
of them
tattoos
actually.
Coming
they
out of it.
Overlay each other.
Yeah, it's a tribal butterfly.
Yeah,
it's more like a nesting doll type of thing going on.
Nesting doll of butterflies.
As how he bends over, you actually see more layers.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. The guy who did it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's
you don't want to. You don't want to see what's in the final layer of.
Well, only a couple people have.
Yeah, Howie has the Matthew Reinhart pop-up book of tramp stamps.
That's right.
It's animated. I can see it moving. It's like the dude on it was a South Pacific or whatever. The dude had the hula girl on his arm that he could make or on his belly they could make do the hula when he rolled his belly.
Nobody saw that.
Yeah, it's classic, dude.
No,
you get your Rogers and your Hammerstein and
who?
Yeah. That's great stuff.
Mr. Rogers.
You know how I know it's still relevant? Because at Mike's wedding reception, how many times did we hear Some Enchanted Evening?
I think we heard every song at least 4 times.
There were 2 or 3 different versions of what song? What was it? We kept arguing whether it was Andy Williams. What's that?
Let's get it on.
That's all it was the whole time. Let's get it on.
Well, instead of the clinking glass thing, they had to go out in the middle of the
they didn't
floor.
Kiss. You clinked the glass and they didn't kiss.
They didn't kiss, but they went out in the middle of the dance floor and they played that song. And you can imagine. Yeah,
they just laid down on that dirty wood and just did the nasty right there.
We know how they used to you'd have to make the fathers would have to watch the consummation of the marriage.
Yeah. Yeah, it was old school rules.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was a Catholic wedding. So.
Yeah, it was. So, I mean, all the bells and whistles that go along with that, But yeah, it was. I mean, at first it went really fast, like you would expect with Mike, but then after a few times, it just dragged on.
Then he kept saying, "No, I can't.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
I don't want to."
Awful like when he's drunk.
Yeah,
Weird.
yeah, it's strange. It's kind of the same. Oh wait, he was also drunk then.
Yeah.
It's just must be his, words he uses when he gets drunk.
Yeah. That's Mike. Yeah, some people are an angry drunk. Mike is a begging and pleading drunk. Simple as that. And if he wants to assert otherwise, he should show his butt up to record night. I'm just saying.
He's a wino.
I know, right? Speaking of winos, welcome back to Fly Casual, episode number 204. Is that right?
Woo!
Am I getting that right?
4 is divisible by 2, guys.
Yeah, it is.
And it makes 2.
It's an even number.
So if you add the 3 numbers together, you get
root.
6.
Which is
Two is the
also
square root
divisible
of
by
4.
2.
Yep.
Welcome to the very basic math cast, where we act impressed at the most basic of
If you put
arithmetic.
4 first and the 2 after it, you get the answer.
Mm-hmm.
It's the BM cast.
That's
Yeah.
Wait.
Basic math.
Basic math.
Yeah.
Oh, because I was going to say most people could
Maybe
make that
I'll
accusation of
edit
this podcast anyway, and it
Works on many levels.
really does, because we talk about poo a lot. Hey, but tonight we're going to talk about some Star Wars stuff. So
Maybe a little poo. You don't know.
maybe if I'm a betting man, probably some poop. Mm-hmm. Probably some poop. I'm Corey over there's Howie at Magic Control. Howie, how's your poops? Are you regular? Are you moving?
Well,
Yeah.
let me tell you.
Oh, I hope.
I've got a story.
Oh no.
I've been holding back for a few weeks now.
No, you can't do that. It's unhealthy. You need to let it
That's
out.
not good, dude.
I've clogged the toilet almost every time I've pooped lately.
Sweet jumping justice. Wait, is it you or did your twins throw a plastic toy down the toilet?
No, it's me. And it's pretty intense, I'm telling you.
There's something about poop talk that I'm okay with, but the minute it becomes personalized poop talk, like, let me tell you about my pooping, then I'm kind of like, I get a little more bashful. Just a little bit. All right, everybody.
It come naturally. You can't ask me about it.
Well, speaking of asking you about it, Garrick, not Jay Hardy, crossed my line of you. Have you ever had a poop so magnificent that you refuse to flush it until you force your spouse to look at it?
No, that's sick, dude. But I do take pictures of it and send it to you guys, right? No, not you guys. Just Petrie.
Just Petrie. He is a good poop receptacle.
There's kind of a contest going on.
Well, that's fair.
He's currently in the lead, and I'm trying really hard to catch up.
I didn't know there was a contest because I would totally be winning
invited.
right now.
You're not invited. Apparently, with your toilet clogging poos, you would just throw the curve.
You're in a different league, bro.
See, I realize
when they're like 20 inches, it's
my wife will not let me,
Poop?
drag her into the bathroom to admire some magnificent accomplishment. So one time only did I do this, knowing that before I switched to an Android phone, knowing that we shared the iCloud photo stream. Took a picture and didn't tell her. And just waited a few days. And then I get what is this? I'm just saying.
That's pretty
It's
good.
a poo.
Yeah, I'm just saying, hey, I didn't send it to you. I don't know what you're doing going back through the old photo.
Yeah,
blame
my
Apple.
pics, bro.
That's your
My
problem.
private stash of pics.
Yeah, I'm just, that was for posterity or posteriority. One of the two. Anyway,
posteriority.
hey, we brought it back around. We're officially the BM cast. Anyway, it's time to talk looking back at some reviews.
Oh, yeah. Ding. Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Garrick, what's
Hey.
going on, man? What's going on,
Hey,
man?
what are you doing?
I don't know, man. That's
How
why
you doing,
I'm
man?
bringing Mike back.
Man.
I don't know, man.
Well, boys.
There he is.
There he is.
Oh, Michael James.
That's not funny.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if that's really needed.
Yeah.
Whatevs, dog.
Yes. It'll taper off in a second. I mean, he's got to be at some point. We just cut his mic. That's what we do. We cut Mike's mic.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
Before we get to reviews,
what's going on?
I have a little segment here that I would like to expose you to. Expose.
Butts.
Called The Rest of the Saga.
Yeah.
Well, that was
You guys ready?
suspenseful.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Always ready. Born ready.
I'm not ready.
Woke up ready.
I used the 4-dot ellipsis instead of the 3.
Oh, actually, the Star Wars ellipsis.
It has a name.
I think it worked really well.
Is it an ellipsis?
I forget. I got to look it up, but it does have a name.
Yeah.
It's not an interrobang. I know what an interrobang is. And it's not trying to get answers out of somebody during consummation.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not that.
I guess it's not what I thought it was then.
Nope.
Dang it. All right. Anyway, here we go. You guys ready for this?
Hit us.
Let's do it. Diego Rivera was one of the few artists that actually found a measure of success within his own lifetime. Early on in his career, Rivera was a painter that primarily used Cubism style, and his work quickly won him acclaim in his home country of Mexico. After a few years of gaining local renown, he was granted a government sponsorship to study art in Europe. He would go on to tour Europe for the next 6 years, until he got homesick and returned home. Rivera returned home just in time to witness the political and militaristic upheaval of the Mexican Civil War. This not only changed his political views, but changed his artistic style altogether. Once a Cubism-only style painter, he realized he needed to adopt a different style to reflect the anger the Civil War had wrought on him, and he shifted his style to the post-impressionism. He would use this newfound style to paint a series of large murals all over the world, which would bring him global renown. During these halcyon years for the now world-famous artist, he would meet a young lady who asked him to give her an honest critique of her paintings. The diminutive and frail girl, who looked like a stiff wind could blow her over, would take nothing less than complete honesty from Rivera on her work. He was honestly smitten by not only the girl's honesty and brashness, but also her natural talent of using form and color in her paintings. Many years later, Diego would marry this girl, and she would go on to surpass him in her own right. That girl's name was Frida Kahlo. Is it Kahlo?
Kahlo.
Frida Kahlo. Diego and Frida's marriage was troubled, to say the least. Each side of the relationship had their fair share of infidelities, but they always managed to patch things up. The two would always be brought back together because of their general love of creating, and also to entertain the various artists that they would host in their home, as a kind of a makeshift artist colony. Diego, when touring different countries that had requested his work, would often meet new artists of all different schools and mediums, and if he was impressed with their work, he would extend an invitation to come visit him and Frida at their house so they could learn from each other and revel in the ecstasy of creating art. Also, Diego was kind of a prolific philanderer, so there was often alternative motives at times. On one such of these visits, he came across a young lady who steeped herself in the art of the Southwest Americas. So similar was this artistic style to Diego's own that he was instantly attracted to this young lady. The woman had studied acting at a small university, but she found painting was more of a passion, and she wanted to make a living from it, so she asked for Diego's help. Diego, coming on as strong as always, gave a few pointers, as well as some flirtatious remarks that she found an odd mix of helpful and creepy. She politely swatted away his advances, but took to heart the honest artistic critiques. Diego, rebuffed in his flirtations, was still so smitten with her work that he made sure to keep in contact with her in the coming years. Several years later, the woman contacted Diego because she was coming up short on inspiration for her paintings, and she felt as though rural Mexico with its exotic flavors and cultures would do the trick to bring her back. Diego wasted no time inviting her to his house in Mexico City, and he even set up a studio not too far from his house for her. The woman spent the next few years touring the countryside, where she would go on to paint some of her most famous works. One day, near the outbreak of World War II, the woman got a letter that contained some disastrous news. Her father had passed away. Maybe it was because her father and her were so close and she never got a chance to say goodbye. Or maybe his death killed the muse that inspired her paintings. But whatever it was, she gave up painting forever. She went to see Diego and Frida one last time to say goodbye. They would tearfully bid her adios, as they were not only saying goodbye to a friend, but they were also mourning the death of an artist. The woman needed an income, and she only had her acting training to fall back on. She managed to land a few minor roles in movies and plays that no one would ever remember, And she even had a small non-speaking role in Disney's Mary Poppins. It was near the end of her life in 1979, at the age of 78, that she was called up to play a stand-in for a new movie that was coming out. They put her in heavy makeup and a robe and only filmed her for about a day, and then she left and thought nothing more of it. She would later go on to see the movie when it was released in theaters. She saw herself on the screen, but she was unrecognizable, even to herself. The hood that they had made her wear cast a deep shadow over her features, and the special effects people had superimposed chimpanzee eyes over her own, and even her voice was dubbed over by a male voice. It is not clear she stayed until the end credits or not, but if she did, she would have not seen her name, Marjorie Eaton, there. And she certainly would not have seen her name next to the character she played, Emperor Palpatine. And that is the rest of the saga.
Dag, yo.
Yeah, man.
Dag, yo. So I've always known that Palpatine was played by a lady.
Yeah.
I did not know about the chimp eyes, but that explains a lot. Of course, you have to go to the old school version, the special, is it the special editions or the re-releases that came later?
The original theatrical cut. Yeah, she played.
But did this was she swapped in the? I don't know if she was swapped in the special editions. I think they changed that after the prequels came out, didn't they?
Did they? I don't remember.
I'm not sure if
different changes in between
the original special edition. I'm not sure
the original special edition
that wasn't her in that. I didn't realize that she was a painter that ran around with Frida Kahlo and her hubby.
Yep, Diego Rivera.
Diego Rivera, played by Dr. Octopus in the movie Frida.
That's right.
Good old Alfred Molina.
And he also introduced her to her fiance, but they didn't get married, so that was kind of sad.
And Jeffrey Rush played Leon Trotsky, and him and Frida had a thing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they did. And then he got stabbed.
Yeah, he did. Because he got stabbed for being Russian, but not Russian enough.
Stabbed for being not communist enough.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, too much of a Lenin. No, I don't know. Read Animal Farm again if you want to brush up on all that.
He was pig horse.
Well, yeah, he was Snowball, wasn't he? Snowball the pig,
or was he Napoleon?
I can't.
No, he was Snowball. Who knows?
I'm pretty sure he was Snowball. That I'm really reaching back into the bag of things I didn't read that closely in high school.
Yeah, it's been decades, man.
Yeah, very long. Or was it even middle school? I don't even remember. But that's really cool. I had no idea that she had such an extensive background.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty darn cool. I like that a lot. Yeah, another one.
Yeah, I'm glad I could make your day, Corey.
Well, yeah, you reached into the art history bucket.
I'm like, oh.
You're like, I'm going to say words like cubism and post-impressionism, get Corey all hot and bothered over here.
I'm going to say them and have no idea what they mean.
Yeah, he switched to post-impressionism because he was inspired by the works of Paul Cézanne.
He invented Rubik's Cubes, right?
Sure he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was inspired by Paul Cézanne. Paul Cézanne, who also, little known fact, hated Impressionists.
Wow.
But he's considered the father of Impressionism.
Huh.
How about that?
What do you know about that?
How about that? Also, Paul Cézanne didn't have really good depth perception, which is why people love his paintings, supposedly. You know, they say that there's like an actual, like an eye condition that a lot of famous, more like contemporary great masters have shared, because if you look at I think this actually might go back to some study of like Da Vinci's work. Oh. But they've looked at like several great masters, when they paint themselves, when they do self-portraits, one eye is slightly askew, and they think that somehow this makes their ability to capture depth better than others. So a little food for thought there. So I'm gonna go way too deep. Somebody stop me. Garrick, talk about comics or something.
Punch your kids in the eyes, make them a good artist.
That's right. That's how you do it.
That's the moral of the story.
That's how I got there, except for the good artist part.
That's what I got out of it. Yeah. So we had not too many comics come out this couple weeks. Actually,
a digestible amount of comics. Hooray!
Actually, last week we had a grand total of one comic come out.
Oh wow!
And the week before that, we had a grand total of one comic come out.
Oh wow!
So since this is the BM podcast,
the BM cast,
1 + 1 does indeed equal 2.
2 comics.
We had 2 comics a coming out. So we had Afra 25, and we had Star Wars Adventures from Vader's Castle.
All right, what are we doing first?
Let's do Afra.
All right.
So Afra was kind of tying off an arc here. Kind of the end. She was on this prison colony, and Vader had arrived. And for long listeners of this podcast or readers of the Afra comic, or maybe if you're listening for the first time, you don't know, Vader and Afra have a history. And it's troubled. It's a troubled history.
Unlike Vader's history with everyone else, which is just fine. He's fine.
He's a good guy. He gets along. He invites you to dinner.
He's a wonderful host.
Down. Yeah.
Wonderful. I mean,
he sets the table.
Cooking is just out of this world.
And he makes Lando take out the nice china.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he puts on.
Lando doesn't want to. He's like, it's for looking, not using. He's like, why do we have it if we don't use it?
He easily accepts apologies, which is very nice.
Quite courteous.
Yes, he's quick to promote people.
That's very true. Very fast on the promotions.
Yeah. So all around good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Vader. in this comic, so she's trying to get off this prison colony, but she realizes her love interest, Tolvin, has called down Vader to try to maybe negotiate them with him to get them off. And Afra's like, no, Vader's not going to negotiate for anything. He's going to kill me. And so they use like a Borgullet type monster to change Tolvin's memory that she killed Afra. And so I guess Vader bought that. So Afra's dead to Vader again. And she escapes. Afra escapes with this character called Lopsit that she'd been hanging around in this prison colony. He's kind of a shapeshifter and has been getting her out of trouble with his shapeshifting abilities. And they find his ship, and lo and behold, his name isn't Lopsit. His name is actually quite different and a well-known name. Actual name is Dr. Evazan. Dr. Cornelius Evazan. And he's with his buddy, Ponda Baba. Yeah, so he wasn't actually a shapeshifter. He was using a entity or some sort of organic animal thing to change his shape at will.
Now you know why his face is all jacked up.
Yeah, that's why his face is all jacked up.
Historically, you've said it's like been a bunch of surgeries, which may also be true. Yeah, so it's like a little
Afra
baby.
Comic. They've mentioned Evazan before, and he's known as like a butcher and a mad scientist who does crazy surgeries on people. And if you remember the Solo and Rogue One movies, there was those people with like half a head. Yeah, remember those? That was him.
Oh, no way!
That. Yeah, so I think they're called the decraniated, and he's responsible, or at least partially responsible, for that operation.
Oh man, people.
Yeah, cray, but he's still alive. Yep. You can lose an arm and still be alive, guys.
That's true.
I think there's plenty enough provenance in Star Wars to say that matter of factly. So, we got Dr. Evazan and Ponda Baba in the comics.
Still rocking and rolling together.
New Hope. Yep, still hanging out. It looked like he had I was trying to see if he had like a fake arm and one.
No, it looks like they actually just pinned his sleeve up like he's a Civil War vet.
Yeah. Well, at one point he had two arms in a panel. I was trying to see if like one was a robot, but I couldn't really tell. But can't really tell with Luke either. So good stuff. I like what Afra's doing. Good-ish.
Do I play the part of Mike now?
Yeah.
I love me some Afra. Love me some Afra. Love me. But I don't know if I like the art. There wasn't. I mean, like Afra's supposed to be hot. She's not as hot in those comics. It's not hot.
It's not supposed to be hot.
I know. I'm just trying to play the part of Mike. Actually, me personally, okay. I kind of dig this art.
Yeah, it's like, different.
I don't want to call it cartoony. That's not fair.
It's definitely a style to it.
The perspective, the layouts, and the coloring too are all great. The style is just, it's not trying to be too hoity-toity. It's not, but it's also not too contour heavy.
Would you say it's this impressionist?
No.
Did I do it? Did I do an art?
You did an art.
Yes.
You did me an art just now. I really, really like it. And I love the fact that Vader's mask is drawn with the like seemingly appropriate proportions, which no one can do.
Yeah, even in the main Vader title there.
Yeah. Everybody, and this has been the case forever. This goes back all the way back to the old Marvel Star Wars, way back in the Disney, like, decades ago, where Vader's mask is always way too pointy, which I felt like they did that in Rebels, just to stylize him, to Rebels him up a little bit, but also as a nod to all that crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I always call him angry eyebrows Vader because his visor is way too pointy. And I'm like, the dude is partially scary because there is no emotion on Vader.
Yeah.
He's behind a mask. So when you add emotion to the mask, even for like a comic medium, I think it takes away from the character. I really like how Vader's drawn in this. I like how the ships are drawn and designed in this. Afra's like a sort of like pug-nosed and like a drowned chihuahua in this whole episode or this whole issue. But this art is probably like right in the middle of my comic wheelhouse. It's not trying to be too realistic. The faces aren't standing out as too movie quality. Everything just looks like continuously the same quality throughout, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, I like it too. And this isn't the artist that started with Afra, but I like what he's doing with her. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what's going forward. At the end here, there was kind of Dr. Evazan had linked Dr. Afra and 000 together. So if one of them dies or is deactivated, the other one explodes. And
you gotta have a Dr. Evazan to do stuff like that.
Yeah, and then
this will be fun.
They can't leave. They can't go outside of a certain radius of each other, or they both explode. So it'll be interesting on how that works out.
I actually really like how they drew Dr. Evazan because, in the movie, you barely see his face because the prosthetic is like solid and he can't have a lot of facial expression. So they hide that in the film, right? But you get a lot of close-ups and facial expressions from him in this. And he kind of looks like this big dummy, but he's like a terrifyingly brilliant big dummy. Like, I dig this. I could read a series that if this was the artist, I could follow this artist through a whole series and enjoy it easily.
Yeah, Afra's probably my favorite comic. And this art, the cover alone, it's a different artist.
Yeah.
But the cover is almost worth buying the comic itself because it's such a great cover on this issue, especially. Just Afra.
It's one of the Luke poses, kind of.
Yeah. But with
the angle and holding the saber.
Yeah, good stuff.
Afra looking good.
Yep. So check that out. Get Afra, buy it. Read it, I guess. Yeah, there you go. So Vader, or Tales from Vader's Castle number 5, closing out the 5-issue miniseries of Vader's Castle. So this is the IDW comic, for those who don't know. So it's kind of a different take on the Star Wars universe. Very cartoony, very, I guess, Disney-ish. But I like this one, especially this last issue, because in the current Darth Vader Marvel title, they're showing how Vader built his castle, how he came across the schematics, what the purpose of it was, why did he choose Mustafar, all this different stuff. And they included these native species to Mustafar. And they actually included them in this comic.
Oh, wow.
So they're almost tying together, I think, because at the end of the last Vader issue, these native species were like, hey, what's this guy doing? Why is he building this castle? We should, get him off our land. Mm-hmm. And in this IDW comic, it shows them actually attacking the castle after it's built.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, wow, that is, and it's the exact same species, exact same look and feel of that species, the native species. So I thought that was a really, I think it's on purpose, I guess.
Yeah.
That was a really cool tie-in between two competing, I guess, comic licensees or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, good on them.
I apologize if I've asked this before, but can you explain to me why the art changes in the middle of the comic and then changes back?
Yeah. Well, usually on the last 4 issues, it's because in the middle of the comic, they're telling a side story. So the sides, they'll start out with one artist, and then the side story will be a different artist, colorist.
But like a couple weeks ago, we figured that wasn't the case, right? A couple weeks ago, the story just randomly changed, or the art just randomly changed.
Well, if it did, it was probably on accident. This one, I'm not sure why it changes. I assume it's because it's like a flashback, maybe.
That's kind of what I was trying to figure out. It was like, if this is literally like, let's use a different artist for this because it's like a cutaway or something.
Because they're each one of these characters is telling a story that happened or maybe didn't happen, kind of like ghost stories. In this comic, the Vader's castle, I guess, I don't know what he is, butler. It's like it's Alfred, I guess. And he's telling you like, well, I remember this time when someone attacked the castle and Vader whooped their ass.
I remember things in far more realistic starkness.
Yeah. So,
but here's the thing: I like both arts. I like the arts, all the different arts. I love
it. And then on the issue prior to this, issue 4. Actually, I don't know if I talked about issue 4 last time. I can't remember. But issue 4 had a story that took place on Endor, and it had that really, really classic Marvel Star Wars feel. Like way back in the day. Yep. And it even brought in some of the Ewok mythos from the cartoon and the movie. Like they had the Gorax, which was one of the bad creatures.
I think we did touch on this if I recall.
Oh, okay. And they had the Dulocs, which were the like other native species of Endor, of the moon of Endor. Yeah. That were kind of like the evil, I guess, creatures from the Ewok cartoon. So yeah. These are really cool. I like these. I like this a lot. The series is pretty cool. Nothing really happened, I guess, but they were cool stories. Just going to Vader's castle and messing stuff up and then escaping somehow because Vader let him go to warn everybody else, like Batman. It's like, tell your friends about me.
That's right.
I'm Vader, man.
Vader man.
Vader man. Yeah.
You gotta stay away from the Vader man.
Don't go. Don't go to the Vader man.
That's frightening territory is what that is.
That is very frightening.
Yep. Yeah. So that was it? 2 comics?
2 comics.
Oh, man.
Boom,
you know what that means?
Done.
You know what that means? Are you aware of what that means?
What?
It means time for the Parkins Bite of the Week.
What?
Boom. Again?
Oh, again?
Yeah, man. I don't know if y'all know this, but the dude will play the Obi-Wan Kenobi, Sir Alec Guinness. Really wasn't keen on the whole Star Wars thing.
What?
Even after the movie done come out and did gangbusters, he was like, that's some silly crap. No, thank you. And they said, we're going to make another one. And Sir Alec Guinness, Obi-Wan was like, that's fine. Have fun. Catch me later. Miss me with that. And they said, no, but like for real, like what if you're just like a ghost or something? So Alec Guinness said, all right, this is what I'm going to put to you. You're going to give me 0.25% of the growth, and you're going to get me to work for 1 day. And they said, okay. And he said, but wait, there's less. I'm going to show up between 8:30 and 1. And you know we're going to get lunch.
Gotta get that free lunch in your contract, man.
True story.
Wow.
Alec Guinness said he would only show up on 1 day of filming between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 1 p.m. And dude knitted 1/4 of the gross.
That dude knew how to negotiate.
Dude, he's like, hey, I'll be a team player, but here's how it's gonna go down.
Man, give that 20 years and that wouldn't have flown.
No.
We're gonna CGI you.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, exactly. We're just gonna piece together your lines from random noises you made in the first film, like your freaking.
We recorded everything.
Like your George McFly. We're just gonna have someone else in you makeup hanging upside down. That's
Luke,
what we're gonna do.
You must go to Dagobah to see Yoda. Nailed it.
Yep. It sounds so lifelike. Hey guys, it's time for the deep dive discussion.
Oh yeah, getting real deep.
This is something we've been trying to get to for a few episodes, and we've not been able to have time to get to it. So now that Mike's out of the way, we can finally do it.
Yeah, Mike. He's holding us back this whole time.
I know. Dead weight. Howie's been begging to get this segment in.
He's like, come on,
I absolutely
guys.
have been. It's
begging.
my absolute favorite thing to talk about.
Begging
Yep.
to get in. We're going to talk about our favorite.
The Last Jet. Oh.
No. Yeah. Oh, let's just talk about Last Jedi and talk about how great it was.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be the ultimate mic troll.
Yeah.
Guys, The Last Jedi is the greatest cinematic event of all time.
All time.
Ding. I'm just saying. There it is. Last Jedi was so good that there was nothing bad about it.
For Mike's wedding gift, I bought him the Steelbook of The Last Jedi.
Oh, I wish you had. I don't know.
Why am I
what
just
you
thinking
got
of this
him.
now? Ah, idiot.
You should have pre-ordered him the tickets to the next Ryan Johnson
We
movie.
need to invent
coordinated
a
it.
time machine right now just so I can go back to give Mike the Steelbook.
We should have
The Last
coordinated
Jedi.
and gotten him a giant gift collection of Last Jedi specific.
Yeah, why didn't we do that?
We're
Like
idiots.
no
Signed
toys.
copies from Ryan
Yeah.
Johnson.
Oh, yeah. Sign stuff
Oh,
so that he
yeah.
can't throw it away because it has value. Yeah.
Call up Ryan Johnson, get an address just to Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Have him
To
do
my
his
biggest
voicemail.
fan, Mike.
My Ike.
My Ike. Yeah. My Ike.
Mike
Archibald.
Archibald. Is that what
Yeah.
it sounds like? Oh,
don't
I'm
think-
Rowan
he's not.
Johnson. I'm British,
Johnson.
I think.
No, he's
Am
not.
I British?
No.
Oh,
You're not even doing a British accent.
what?
Actually, that's the best British accent I've ever heard out of Garrick.
Yeah,
Okay, fair.
Easily, handily.
yeah, nailed it.
But yeah, no. Ryan
Crikey.
Johnson's just, yeah.
He's not British? Wait, which one's British?
Well, they don't say crikey as much, I don't think, as the Aussies.
Which one was it?
The
Ron
Aussies
Howard.
just, they step on a crack and they're like, oh, crikey.
Crack.
I actually didn't
Snakes.
even crikey. Crikey a crack. Crike. Right?
Yep.
That's what they do.
I've heard
But
that.
we're going to be talking about our favorite Star Wars games / gaming moments, excluding Star Wars D6 tabletop role-playing game by West End Games, because that is clearly the greatest game of all time.
Yeah, of all time.
Of all time.
Wait, hold on. Let me
I
roll.
want to play. I want
Let me
to
roll.
play.
Yep.
We still
I was
have some
successful.
episodes to put out.
Nice. I know. We still have, and those are going to be a year old in no time. Last time we got
in a year from when we recorded. Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
be a year old.
Yeah,
Yep, that's math. BM cast, baby.
BM cast, straight up. We need to get together and play soon, just FYI. But we're here to talk about best games, the best classic Star Wars game.
Can we turn this podcast right now into a game?
Yeah.
You know that I
again.
could. You know that I could. Don't challenge me because I will ruin the listeners.
I have thrown down the challenge.
Truth or dare. Let's do
Howie's
that.
doing everything he can to get out of this segment that he wants to do so badly.
Spin the bottle. Let's play spin the bottle right now, guys.
Spin the bottle, Star Wars style.
I will go straight spin the bottle right now.
Spin the Star Wars.
7 minutes in heaven.
Spin the Death Star.
Skeletons in the closet.
All right, Howie. They're dudes on a train. You got to catch them. Go get them.
I pull out my
Spades.
blaster and shoot them all.
Old maid, but Star Wars.
Roll, shoot them all.
37.
Damn.
With the
They're
botch.
dead. They're all dead. Oh, with a botch.
I forgot about the botch.
You were standing in front of the train. It derailed and is now plowing directly at you. They're going to die on the
Hey,
plus
but
side.
you
I
get a
really
use
force
high.
point.
force push.
Yeah. You are not force sensitive, and everybody has tried to tell you this your entire life, but you refuse to listen. And as a result, the train is now ever closer. Garrick, it's your turn.
I have a bad feeling about this character point.
Character point. Garrick's got a character point, Howie.
I'm going to use a force point to mind control the train.
Unfortunately, you used your force point to on your negotiation roll earlier when you were purchasing a bandolier for extra power packs, even though we don't keep track of how many shots we fire. So,
All right, I'm just going to cut off its balls.
all right, the train has been deballed.
I win.
All right,
We won.
all right. Everybody, you
character
get
points
200
do I
character
get?
points.
Yeah. I get 201 because I used the line from the
That's
movie.
right.
Yeah.
I steal your one, though.
Oh no. Roll fourth wall break. Roll, what is it? Roll OOC. You ever read like the D&D like funny things that people say during D&D campaigns, or you'll get like
I
a whole
lived
dump
it.
of them on Imager
I
and
lived
stuff
it.
like that. And it's
I invented all those.
They
things.
always say like
I invented it.
Elven Ranger OOC, and inevitably, if you scroll down and someone like top comment, what does OOC mean? Asking for a friend, and the answer is out of character, because there's conversations that when you're role playing, there are conversations that are in character, and conversations that are out of character.
Only if your GM's a dick.
Yeah,
I mean,
I always OOC.
One of the few times I've not been the GMs when we were playing D&D, and and you were the DM, Garrick, and almost everything I said was in character because it was more fun for me. I didn't want to stop talking in character. Now on the flip side, anytime you role play with Josh, 99.9% of what he says is out of character.
It's true.
These things you got to keep track.
Now, okay, I have a question.
Okay.
If I decide that this trooper over here is going to stop and smell the roses, can I?
Wait, we're role playing with Josh. I get it because it got really slow.
Can I roll?
Can I roll?
Can I roll?
Oh, my butt is sweaty.
Mike loved it.
That's playing with drunk Josh. He does that at the end of anytime anybody says something when he's drunk. He goes, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Him out. Here
Girls'
on the
wieners
cat.
on everything in arm's reach.
Yeah, that's
Although he did play with us last time because there was a clamoring on Twitter.
Yeah. Yep.
Clamoring?
There was a murmuring. A great murmuring.
Was there a tweet by himself?
Probably.
The great
Nice.
murmur.
Yeah. But anyway, hey, let's knock this out. And if we want to circle back around, we could spend 2-3 episodes just talking about Star Wars role playing, because clearly that's the greatest game of all time. But
Of all
Everybody
time.
knows that.
I'm going to go first. And I know we've done this kind of a thing before, but this way we're going to talk specifically about our favorite game. And I'm going to go first. This really, it's a hard question to answer because I love, you love all your children, really. You can't pick your favorite kid, even though you have one. Howie, I'm looking at you specifically because Garrick and I only have one each.
It's easy.
Yep. Mine's easy too. And I'm not even ashamed of it.
It's not, but
I don't
it's
see
not
what
my
your problem
kid.
is,
If
Howie.
it's not my kid, does it still count?
Yeah.
You can just play the gender thing and say you have to divide the girls 4 ways. So
Actually, Garrick's my favorite kid.
True.
Aw, you're
Sure,
my
he's a good
favorite
kid.
kid too, Howie.
He's a good kid.
That's not
you guys
how it
getting
works.
back together? I
I don't think this is how it works.
not healthy.
Well, Mike got married after he divorced me, so he has
So-
0.25% of Howie's Funko stock.
My favorite game, I have decided that today I will say my favorite game. And it's not because dishonest, it's just it goes back and forth, but I love the OG Dark Forces, man.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
I love it so stinking much. And it doesn't mean that I've played more Dark Forces than all the rest of them, or anything like that. Honestly, it's probably a toss-up in that case between TIE Fighter or X-Wing Alliance. But Dark Forces came out right when I got our first PC, right when we got our first PC, and I've talked about like having to upgrade the RAM even to play the game and stuff like that. But there was something like Doom was still really hot, and having this game come out like right on the heels of Doom, people were still playing. Like Wolfenstein was still new to a lot of people at this time, and Wolfenstein 3D. Excuse me.
Come on, get it right.
Yeah, but
3D in quotes.
No, but so yeah, Dark Forces comes out, and what they did was what I've read is that they actually that LucasArts actually reverse engineered the Doom engine to make their I don't remember what it was called, like Jedi engine or something like that. But they reverse engineered it and then they improved upon it. So one thing that Doom couldn't do is that Doom couldn't have multiple floors. They painted in a ceiling there, but you could not have models inside of models. So you could not have like something over top of something else. So that's why there were platforms that went up and down and everything, but there was never anything under anything. There was no real Z plane. And Dark Force, they improved on that with that engine. And so Dark Forces could have multiple level structures, things above other things.
Oh, yeah.
And so they also, even though the game was predominantly sprite based, they also worked in Garrick was making fun of me for this before, the ability to look up and down,
quote unquote.
But the engine, I mean, the engine, it was so rudimentary that like everything would like stretch. When you looked up, it's such a giant stretch, like this perspective askew.
It was okay because there was a built-in like aimbot that shot up.
Yeah.
If you like shot straight, it would automatically shoot up at something.
Which is what Doom had too.
Yeah.
You know, with Doom, you never aimed up or down. So if the imp was up on the platform and 1-1, then you fire and it's going to hit him as long as you're pointed XY in his direction. But yeah, and so Dark Force is like, well, we can't let anyone depend on this craziness for aiming, but we'll let them look. And it's funny though, because you like approach a ledge and you like try to look down and you don't actually see any more over the ledge than you did before you looked down. But I loved it so much.
There's like groundbreaking when it came out too.
Oh my gosh.
Not only was like at the time, first person shooters were in their infancy,
yep.
like you said, but the story itself, like the first mission is you stealing the Death Star plans.
Yep.
To give to Mon Mothma.
Yeah, forget that Jyn Erso bullcrap.
Yeah, later retconned in Rogue One, but
yeah,
like before we had that, it was like, yeah, you're playing the dude what stole the Death Star plans.
Yeah, for all the people that went and saw Rogue One and like, oh, now I know how that happened. That was what happened for us when we played this video game sitting at our PCs in the 90s, was that, we never had any story as to how that shook out. And boom, here it is. Here's the guy what did it, and you're going to do it. And that's the first map. It's the first level. It's not like that's the pinnacle. It's not like it builds to that. It's like, nah, he just did this. It's on the side. He had an afternoon. So which here you had a new character, which remember at this point there wasn't a lot of stuff featuring new characters other than Zahn's books coming out, I think soon after the game came out. But so to I'm assuming to make the character impactful, they had him do this awesome BA thing right at the top, and then move on. It's like, okay, now here's the bigger problem. So that you're going, oh man, he just did this in the first level. Clearly, there's something to this dude to help like get you attached to this random character, paramilitary dude, operative, and I just. Couple that with like all of the MIDI music, all of the Star Wars music in MIDI form. Like, I mean, yeah, when you're playing like Doom and Wolfenstein, you're doom, 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 but like you're literally getting like someone went in and reorchestrated all the John Williams music.
Yeah.
In MIDI, and it was amazing to hear all of that stuff while you're in these worlds doing these things. And like all games back then, going around trying to find secret passages and like filling out your map and everything like that. And what I mean by filling out your map is that the map would auto fill in while you found things. So I would literally go around like every line of the map and try to get leave no open spots on my map to make sure I've not missed any secrets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh look, I found a secret room that's shaped like Max's head, Max the bunny. But the game, like, it had moments that made me freaking nervous as heck. It had moments that made me like the whole sewer level or the Dark Dark Trooper phase 1s and all those.
Oh, yeah.
Those were just
they had the Dianoga, and you went to all sorts of like different places. It was crazy. Yeah.
Every map was a different planet. Yeah. And then of course you battle Boba Fett in Imperial City.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but that was like the first visual representation of Coruscant we had.
Yes.
Because you went to Imperial
up until
City.
then, there was, if it beat Zahn's books, I don't think we'd ever even heard of Coruscant. I don't think the word Coruscant, I don't believe was in the game. It was Imperial City. Yeah. But I didn't know
it was on Coruscant, right?
Yeah. It was on Coruscant. But I'm saying like, we didn't have any frame of reference to even understand what any of that meant. But then boom, there's Boba Fett there. And we had to fight Boba Fett. And then somehow we killed him. I guess we just didn't check his pulse.
Yeah.
Under all that armor.
You could try to check his pulse, but the sprite of his death was only pointed one direction.
Yeah.
So you could only see his butthole.
Yeah. So it's like, I guess we got to check the pulse the rough way.
He would turn with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Because sprite based stuff. That's what it did. But I freaking love that game. And I'm not kidding. Right now, if I were like thumbing through Twitch like you do, and I came across somebody playing Dark Forces, as long as it didn't look like utter garbage because of how low res it is, I would sit there and I could probably sit there and watch someone play through the whole damn game.
Oh,
I freaking love it. Freaking love it. That's me.
It's a great game. Rescue
It
Fix
is.
Nadine. Blow up a bunch
Those
of-
elevators.
yeah. Solving puzzles.
Uh-huh.
Fighting stormtroopers.
Yeah, you were.
Good stuff.
And they actually had like voices. They had like little recorded, hey, stop where you are, that kind of stuff. That was still pretty new back then to actually hear someone say something that was more than just, But I mean, in Wolfenstein, you'd get the, halt.
Oh, come on, Eben.
Yeah. But when, you play Doom, you just get like the, those sounds. So then you start playing Star Wars and, these guys yelling out like, and they sound like stormtroopers. I don't know. It was just amazing at the time. You guys got to understand. We used to have to walk 12 miles to school, up and down, both ways, uphill both ways in the snow. This was amazing.
It's difficult, to relate to people who wouldn't have been old enough to realize how groundbreaking this is. I don't know if there's anything like this that could come out now.
No, everything is so incremental now.
It's like, wow, it's like this new, relatively new video game type. And now it's got Star Wars in it. And you're like, I was a big Doom guy. And as soon as I saw someone playing this, I'm like, whoa, they made Doom with Star Wars? How do I get this?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah. There was like no questions. Like, I have to own this. I have to. Plus, if my parent, at the time, I was literally concerned that my mom would turn the corner, see me playing Doom, and just see guts and like satanic things exploding, and I would be in trouble.
Literally,
so as long as I'm sitting there shooting stormtroopers, I'm in the clear.
I'm fighting a demon with 2 Gatling guns on his hands.
Exactly. Not gonna fly back then, but yeah, she'd come up and she'd watch me over my shoulder and then just shrug and walk away. I'm like, that's right. I'm a kid. So good times. What about you, Garrick?
Well, I know last time we talked about books. I didn't mention the Zahn trilogy because I think that automatically wins, right?
Yeah, we said then that was cheating.
Yeah. But I'm not going to go by that rule with video games. I think this one would win. Maybe, who knows? But anyway, my favorite video game is Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, man.
And it may possibly be my favorite video game of all time.
Of all time?
Of all time.
I got to do a shout out real quick.
Yeah.
Mike's wedding. I met a listener of the show. Shout out to Bailey, who and he asked, he's like, have you played Knights of the Republic? I said, dude, I played Knights of the Republic on like 3 systems. And every year I'll start playing it again on an iPad.
Yeah. I got
it doesn't matter that I don't play the whole thing. I'll just start another character or start over again.
Yeah. This game, I don't know. I don't know if everyone's played it, but it was a Xbox 360 game, a role-playing game.
Xbox One game. Sorry.
Yeah. Right.
Original Xbox game.
You're right. Original Xbox game. My bad. It was also on the 360 because I had it on.
Oh, yeah.
And I also have it on a bunch of other different devices and computers and stuff. But this came out, and what was so unique about this game when it came out, it was set like way back 4,000 years in the past. 4,000 years. Yeah.
The Knights of the Old Republic name is now synonymous. It's the game by that name.
Yeah.
But prior to that name nomenclature was actually a series from Dark Horse Comics.
Yes.
And as I stop and say it, a lot of people, I think there's probably a lot of people that don't realize that. A lot of fans that don't.
Not only like the Dark Horse Comics, they came out and they were back in the past and discussed all this, like the hyperspace wars and Ulick
Mandalorian wars,
Naomi Sunrider. They actually built that lore into the video game.
That was the thing that, despite all of the other amazing things about this game, the fact that you would find little pieces of lore and like, oh, look, I just found, Ulrich Keldroma's, like, I don't know, gauntlet or something like something. And I'm like, oh my God, like, No one playing this game knows what that is. Like maybe 2% of us, 1% of us. That's amazing.
Yeah, and all these people from the hyperspace war, like on the Sith side, all their ghosts are on Korriban.
Oh,
and you can
my
interact
gosh.
with them, and you fight some of them, and then you get their stuff.
Oh, man. And that was so creepy because it's like, I'm familiar with these characters and I'm going to see them for the first time and they're going to be a scary ghost.
And the greatest part about this is like, so the storyline itself, right? I mean, there's no storyline experience I've ever played in a game that's like I've been so immersed in. And
Yes.
there's a huge plot twist in the near the end of the game. Well,
Yeah.
almost in the middle, I guess.
Like, well, I would say it's like,
Middle.
man,
Maybe 2/3,
3/4 climax.
Yeah, 3/4. Yeah. So this huge bomb that drops, and I don't know. Maybe if you haven't played this game, you might want to turn it off for a second.
It's funny because the game's so old, but it's so good that you still don't want to spoil it.
I know it's so
Because you could still buy it on the on a tablet and play
Yeah.
it right now.
It's literally 15 years old this
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
they
like, it's
celebrated-
$5.
just celebrated the 15th year.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
And so you wake up, you don't know who you are. You have some sort of amnesia, and you're under attack, and you have to get off this ship.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it starts. You have no idea what your character is. People tell you what you were, and you're like, oh, and then everyone who knew what you were is dead. And
Yep.
you have to kind of find your way in the world and kind of
All the people who know why you're there are not there. They've all like escaped the ship.
and all your progression at the beginning is through dialogue. And of course you have the awesome battles with the battle mechanic is really cool.
Well, and even then, while you're doing that and fighting, you're hearing the space battle going on around you.
Yeah.
You're
And
hearing like you're like hearing ships like fly by and like strafe by, and you're hearing like against the hull, and you're like, oh geez.
usually, I'm the guy who plays a game and I'm like, cutscene skip.
Yes,
But this
you are.
This one I'm like, I'm going to read every dialogue option that is available to me to see what I can find out, because I have no idea what's going on, and this is interesting.
Exactly.
So
The game makes you want to know.
You play through it, and they give you, you get the overarching mission of discovering the Star Forge. And then through that, you realize that you were actually this character called Darth Revan, who was like this big bad guy.
The greatest Sith event of all
greatest
time.
Sith event of all time. You were this Jedi who went out with your buddy Malik. He wasn't Darth then, I guess.
Malik Jones.
Malik Q. Smith, and you go out. you went with him, and somehow you came back evil.
Malachi McDougal. That's right.
And you were captured, and Bastila wiped your memory, and then they tried to reset you. And then you realize, once you figure out that you were the bad guy that had started all of this off, all these dialogue memories come back to you in that cutscene, and you realize, oh crap. All these people knew who I was, and they really, really didn't want me to train as a Jedi to become bad again.
Yeah. Yeah. Like everyone was against you. The good guys and the bad guys have been against you this whole time, except for like the few of your closest friends.
Like when you fight Malik before you know who you are, and he's like talking to you like he's like you've met and your old buddies. You're like, why is he talking to me? I have no idea who this guy is. You're like, it all makes so much sense now. But yeah, and not just that, the variety of worlds you go to some classic ones like Tatooine, and and then you go to new ones and
Mimban,
and Manon, I think that's what it's called. Yeah. So
did I get Mimban? Yeah, Manon. I'm sorry, that's correct, not Mimban.
Yeah. So.
Oh man,
really, the story is amazing. Everything about this game is great. There's nothing I don't like. Unless you go to like worlds in the wrong order, it gets kind of difficult gameplay wise. But
I don't know that I ever ran into that issue.
The replayability of this game is amazing, because depending on who you take with you and your companion will unlock different storylines and different events, and will unlock more of that companion story. Yeah,
so much different gear and abilities to choose from.
Yeah. And it's great. It's got to be easily my favorite game of all time, Star Wars.
I feel like that. Yeah. I could have easily gone with that one. Could have easily gone with that one. There's been a lot of, hot, wet dog turds of Star Wars games. There really have.
Yeah.
But there's been a handful of Star Wars games that I feel like are just genre defining.
Yeah.
We're talking RPG, epic single player RPG, shooters. I don't care what anybody says. And also, space flight sims.
Oh, yeah. Space flight sims, easily Star Wars, like TIE Fighter, that whole series is my favorite flight sim of all time.
Yeah. Nobody does it better, bro.
Yeah, nobody.
Nobody does it better. No one has. Everybody tries. Elite Dangerous. Yeah, it's fun. Then it gets boring.
Yeah, sure does.
And I don't know. What was the Wing Commander?
Wing Commander, yeah.
Which everybody knows was closely related to X-Wing in more than one way. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Mark Hamill was in Wing Commander 3. Yeah. But like, those were great games too, but they didn't have the tie-in, the anchor to the greater story already. They had to struggle to create their own story and everything, even though the mechanics are very similar to those classic spaceflight sims. And that dude's got Star Citizen, which is what it's been in development for about 72 years now.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's still not a game. I don't know, man. I want a new X-Wing game.
I know. Come on. That's why I'm pissed off at EA, because they suck.
Well, you can't be pissed at EA for that, because EA never made one and they're never gonna.
I know, that's why I'm pissed at them. They're not gonna
pissed off at LucasArts for never crapping one out before they dissipated.
Now I'm sad.
What are you gonna do?
Well, there's always the MMO, I guess.
That's true.
Momo.
Well, actually, the reason why I forced you to do this topic,
what,
was to trick you.
You begged and pleaded.
Yeah, it was a trap.
Oh no. It's a tarp.
Character point.
You have to answer questions now.
Oh, Howie's favorite game is trivia.
Dang it.
Boo.
My favorite game is reading the trivia questions and making you answer them.
No, you have to pick from Old Republic or Force Unleashed.
Well, I'm picking.
Are you trying to give Garrick a chance to re-challenge me when he's not broken down drunk?
Yeah.
This
is really going to test be an even playing field.
Star Wars trivia.
No pre-screening the questions to give me ridiculously hard ones, because that just sounds normal.
Well, I'm going to have you pick a color.
Oh, noes.
For the other person.
Puce.
What? What's puce?
I don't remember what they are, so don't.
That's what's going to be fun, because you'll learn.
Okay.
What color
so, Corey, you pick a color for Garrick.
Orange.
Is that the hard one?
I honestly don't remember what the colors are.
It says HIS.
Oh, no, I gave him history.
Oh, boy.
Shoot.
History?
What trio rescued Princess Leia from the Death Star's detention block?
God.
That would be Chewbacca, the Wookiee. Let's see, his buddy Han Solo, or his pet Han Solo, something like that. And the up-and-coming Jedi by name of Luke Skywalker.
Lame. Lame.
That is correct.
Lame.
Woo!
All right, so what color, Garrick, are you going to pick for Corey?
Not orange. Anything but orange.
What colors are there? I can't.
Orange.
Oh, yeah, he gets you. They're purple, blue, orange, green, dark orange, pink.
Pink.
I think it's supposed to be red.
Oh.
But it's faded.
He's pinking me.
Pink. Pink.
You want pink. All right.
Don't tell us what they are, though.
All right. What actor played the Chief Jawa?
Oh.
See? See? See?
There's a chief?
I'm having flashbacks. I'm going to have dreams about not knowing my class schedule again tonight.
It's a Chief Jawa. Did you make that up?
No. You want me to tell you?
I don't know. The Avenger.
Jack Purvis.
Of course it was.
Right.
Good
Jack
old Pervy
Purvis.
Jack.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Corey.
He was in that thing.
Pink.
Oh, no.
And the rules are you can only choose the color once.
Okay, I'm choosing pink.
All right.
Wait a minute.
You can choose each one.
You each can choose the color once.
Gotcha.
What was Luke Skywalker's last line in Return of the Jedi?
Oh boy.
See, hold on. Tell you.
This is an easier one than the one that Corey had, but it's still not easy.
No. Because I know, I'm pretty sure I know what scene it is. I just got to remember the last thing he said.
Yeah, he was holding his dad.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, let me think.
And he's
So
like, you can't die.
You were right.
Don't help him out.
Let's see. You can't die. You can never die. You're Vader. Everybody knows that.
That's what he says.
Stand up and dust yourself off, you piece of shit.
Yeah, you stupid piece of dumb turd bucket.
3 seconds.
You can't
I got
die.
nothing. You can't die.
Yeah.
That's all I can remember.
I won't leave you.
Ah.
It's funny because he did.
And
I'll leave your ashes. That's what I'll do.
All right, Garrick, you have purple, blue, orange, green, or red to choose from.
let's go green.
All right.
Yes.
Wait, no, I get to pick for him.
No, I'm picking for you.
Oh,
That was Garrick's question.
that was Garrick's question?
That's why I said don't help him.
I thought you were talking to him. I'm taking notes of what colors we're picking over here, so my head is elsewhere.
You had the Jawa.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Chief Purvis.
Chief Jawa.
Okay.
Pervin.
All right, green to Corey. What enemy vehicles did the rebels first spot from Echo Station 3T8?
What enemy vehicle did the rebels first start from Echo Station 3P8?
What enemy vehicles did the rebels first spot from Echo Station 3T8?
AT-AT?
Imperial Walkers.
That's a yes. That's
Oh,
it. Shut up. I named an Imperial Walker. So that's a yes.
That's a
Says
1-1.
No, it says the Moops. It's a Steinfeld reference. You
All right, Corey, you have red, green, blue, or purple.
Purple.
Oh, no,
right.
purple. What's
At
purple?
some point, I'm going to forget what colors you picked.
That's why I'm trying to furiously take notes over here.
Who boasted, I've just made a deal? This is to Garrick. Who boasted, I've just made a deal that will keep the Empire out of here forever?
Is it Lando?
That is correct. I haven't been dinging.
Lando.
There, 2 dings,
The
1 fan.
Landonator.
Lame.
Lando Calrissian.
All right.
No, that wasn't lame. It was awesome. I got it.
Lame. He's got to pick a color for me now.
Yeah, you got to pick color.
Brown, orange, dark orange,
Wait.
green, no, pink, no.
Dark
Purple.
orange is red. There's
They do
orange and
purple?
red.
You want purple? Okay.
Purple
Red.
is red.
Well, we're doing red.
Red,
Red Dead.
Red Dead.
What alien, this is Corey, what aliens did Han refer to when noting short help's better than no help at all?
Oh,
Say it again.
What aliens did Han refer to when noting short help's better than no help at all?
It's got to be Ugnaughts or Ewoks. I don't think anybody talks about the Ugnaughts. Ewoks.
Ewoks.
Yay! We are
Nice.
tied
2-2.
2-2.
farts.
Oh, farts. All right, Corey.
Blue.
Wow,
All right, blue to
that's
Garrick.
geography, isn't it?
Should be.
Who disabled the lightning system on Jabba, the Hutt's sail barge?
Who disabled the lighting? Or
The
lightning?
lighting system. Did I say lightning?
You did, but that would have been way better.
The lighting system on Jabba the Hutt's sail barge.
that
Sales
was-
barge.
The one where he did the sales. All the sales.
all the sales.
The sales team on the lightning barge.
I think that was it. R2D2. Was it?
No.
Oh, no.
Who was
It's
it?
Princess Leia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
She disabled all the systems when she aimed it at the deck. Just saying.
What's it was before that? I thought. Did she hit a button? Oh. Oh.
No,
Anyhow.
she stuck it in the port and disabled
You know what I'm saying?
the lightning
Gross.
system.
All right, pick a color, Garrick.
Oh yeah, that's
Pick
right.
a color.
You've
What?
chosen pink, green, and red so far.
Purple. Is that one?
Purple to Corey.
Purple nurple.
Who sensed Darth Vader's presence on the command ship during the journey to Endor?
On the command ship, which would be in this case the case of Lando class the command ship. Oh, Vader was on the command ship.
He's on
Obviously,
the
it was Luke. Sorry,
executive, right?
Yes.
overthought really bad.
Corey's up by 1.
Yeah,
Damn.
I got one more right and one fewer wrong.
Fudgicles.
That's like doubly better.
All right.
All right,
Corey
I
to
got-
Garrick.
Green.
No.
Green to Garrick.
Green to
What?
Garrick.
What's the big city to residents of Tatooine?
Anchorhead.
Big city in quotes.
Oh.
What's
Did you say
the
two?
quote big city to residents of Tatooine?
The big city. Oh, not two big cities. Like not TWO, right?
No.
Mos-
What?
Mos- what? Say it again.
What is the quote big city to the residents of Tatooine?
The big city. Mos Eisley?
Yes.
I was hoping it was Tashi Station because that would have made me laugh.
Well, that's
so
an
hard.
Anchorhead. That's not a. It was either Anchorhead or Mos Eisley, right?
What about Mos Espa? That came later.
Yeah, that's too
Earlier,
small.
later
They just
from
have
this game.
races
This
out
game is
there.
too old. Game's too old.
So,
Yay!
All right.
all right.
Garrick's got to
Garrick.
pick a color. He's picked pink, green, red, and purple so far.
Oh.
Orange and blue are left.
Blue.
Blue. All right, Corey.
Ah,
Who blasted a hole in the wall of the Death Star's cell bay?
Your mother.
a hole in the wall? I believe it would be a hole in the grading system that was over the trash compactor, and that would have been Princess Leia.
You are correct.
Many
it's-
people might
I'm
accidentally
sorry,
say
it's Princess
Chewbacca.
Leia? Pronounced Leia?
Into the garbage chute, flyboy.
Boom.
That means that I have got to pick for Garrick red.
Oh,
Red.
Final question.
Final question.
Better hope you get it right and I get the next one wrong.
If you do not get this right, Garrick, you've lost.
Yep.
oh.
It's like bottom of the or top of the ninth, bro, or something. I don't know.
Something like that.
You know,
Sports.
Sporting.
it'd be the top of the ninth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a really hard question.
Oh, fudge.
Who is Han Solo's furry companion?
What color was the skin of Jabba the Hutt's Gamorrean guards?
Oh God.
Was it green?
Are you
wait.
asking me?
It was green.
You're supposed to be one telling me. Oh, yes, green.
I'm sorry. The color was Pantone 0497.
It was 3 days after I've had a cold booger green.
Absolutely correct. That's even more correct. Almost got extra credit, but I can't
do I
do
get
that.
0.5 extra points?
No, you don't. I said you almost did.
And Garrick's last color to choose for me is orange.
Orange.
Wait, I get to choose.
You get to choose.
Orange.
Okay.
Orange.
That's fair.
Orange to Corey.
Yep.
What
God damn it.
what political body was dissolved by the Emperor during Star Wars?
Fudgicles.
The last remnants of the Imperial Senate have been swept away.
That is correct.
Yay!
Yay!
I win!
You win.
Yay!
Yay!
A narrow victory is the sweetest victory.
I'll get you next time, Corey.
I've proven time and
Next
again now that
time.
what was a fluke. My God, the greatest fluke of all time when you won back in the day. The greatest fluke that ever were.
The greatest fluke I ever fluked.
They ever fluked a fluke.
Fluked it.
You gotta be careful with them flukes. So what are we doing? Are we role playing now? Or are we just?
Yeah. Roll dodge.
I'm just saying.
Roll
I mean, if you guys
Roll
want,
dodge.
if you guys want to role play, I tell you role play. We have got to do. You know what I really want to do? We've got those episodes that we did of role playing with like the big group. I'd love to do a couple small group things that would be a little more listener friendly to maybe as a introductory thing. Because I would say even the majority of listeners have never tabletop role played.
Yep.
I think that's probably a pretty dang safe bet. So I think that maybe that's something we should think about.
I think the majority of people have role played tabletop.
You think
games.
the majority of people in general?
Yes.
You are out of your mind. That is why you lose at trivia.
Oh.
because you're out of the mindedness.
Oh.
That is why you fail.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
Life
How
is
many
life,
stormtroopers?
if you think about it, life is just one big role-playing game.
People role play in the bedroom.
How many stormtroopers bit the dust falling down the Death Star's bridge chasm?
All of them. Because it
3.
exploded.
1.
Nope.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They all died because it exploded.
Yeah, they all fell down the chasm of life.
They didn't bite the dust. He was like literally going.
Well, why was
true.
it dusty down there? He had a helmet on.
Speaking of biting the dust, it's time to tie this one off.
Thank you,
And
Corey.
ladies and gentlemen, it's been lovely having you around for another episode of Fly Casual. Won't you please follow us on Twitter at FlyCasual1138. Take part in the conversation with us because we love to hear from you. It's a lot of fun for us. Go on and give us a nice review wherever you get the podcast because it helps us find more listeners so we can all take part in a greater conversation. And what's a community if not wonderful with more voices? I don't really believe in what I'm saying now, but we want more of you. Hooray. Also, go to the YouTube, search on Fly Casual Podcast. Follow along. You can listen to the show then. There won't be a lot of Mike clicking around because I'm not recording where I'm staring. Thank God. On my computer. But, and that's going to get more robust time goes on. We've got plans to make those videos a little more lively and enjoyable in the near future. But Mike's putting up all sorts of goodies there. So make sure you do follow us there. What's that, Garrick?
Good job, Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah. There he is.
So there he was. And then, go to betterkind.com, click on the show notes, and you can just follow along there. If you're listening on the website, if you're listening in the podcast, you download from the wherever and the whoever, and that's fine too. In the meantime, I'm Corey. Over there's Howie.
Yo.
Oh, there's Garrick.
BM, baby.
BM. BM jelly.
The best BM of all time.
Man, I'm going.
Well, you have been apparently lately.
Yeah.
That's something we all know now.
Let's go.
And you're better off for it.
I'm not sure.
So you can feel better about yourselves.
Hmm.